Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review, and today's review is in association with JediInsider.com, your #1 news source for everything Star Wars. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch X-Wing pilot Asty figure. Now this figure is part of the fourth wave of Black Series, 6-inch Black Series figures from Hasbro. It comes packaged in the same style of packaging we've seen with all the Black Series Force Awakens figures. You've got the black box with the Black Series logo up top, the figure clearly displayed in the window box packaging, and an image in the name of the character down below. On the side we have the red border, and it tells us this is figure number 14 in the wave, or in the series. And then on the back we have a brief bio in multiple languages. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging, and the figure comes with two accessories. So he comes with a blaster, and this is the same kind of blaster that the Poe Dameron 6-inch X-Wing pilot figure comes with. It's different color, it's more gold, and it's got some black highlights on it, but sculpting wise and everything, it's the exact same pistol. And like with the Poe Dameron figure, Asty here comes with a holster. It's positioned a little bit differently on his belt, but it works the same way. It fits in there. It's just the holster itself is just kind of a rubber type material, and the gun fits in there nice and tight, which is good. Now the figure also comes with a removable helmet, and this is a very different looking helmet than the one we see Poe Dameron wearing, and it looks very true to what we see in the movie. You've got yellow and black checker marks up here at the top. You've got some alien writing, the Rebel Alliance symbol. Again, some more alien writing here on the side. You've got the communication piece that comes out near his mouth, and you've got the red and black markings and everything, even some writing or markings on the back of the helmet as well. So nice detailing with the helmet, and it fits in nice and tight on the figure's head. Even though this is an alien character and he's got a pretty strange looking head, the helmet is made to fit nice and tight, again just like we see in the movies. So I really like the helmet, and I like the head sculpt on this figure. I think the detailing with the paint applications, you've got some wash work on the head to give it some added texture. They've sculpted in some wrinkles and everything. He's got these pieces of skin that come down around his mouth, and I think they captured the shape of the head really good as we see the character in the movie. So for the rest of the figure, I think that this is a very similar looking figure as the Poe Dameron X-Wing pilot figure, though there are a number of differences, minor differences, but certainly enough to kind of differentiate it. So obviously and they're both X-Wing pilot suits, so they should look pretty similar. But you got a little bit of difference in color variation. The red's a little bit darker on the Asty figure, and the vest is a little more of a yellowish cream color as opposed to the one on Poe, which is more white and looks a little more dirty. On both you've got the Rebel Alliance symbol, but the writing, and you've got writing on the vest, but they're spaced a little bit differently. You've got the control panel, these control panel or oxygen controls, whatever they are, on their chest, and those fit on the figure exact same way. They're glued on. Look pretty much the same, though a little bit different color tones, but same control panels and everything painted on it. And then you've got the hoses that come down to their legs. That's the same. Web gear is very similar, though it's a little bit thicker on the Poe figure. It's a little thinner. The pieces are a little thinner on the Asty figure. Same type coloring, gray with the silver highlights for the belt buckles. And you've got the belt, which again, as I mentioned before, the holsters are positioned a little bit differently. And then you've also down here on their legs, you've got these canister things that they carry around. And both have them, but they're spaced apart a little bit differently between the two figures. Oh, and one other difference is they've added a pouch here in the midsection of the Asty figure, which was not included on the Poe Dameron figure. So again, very similar looking figures, but enough differences to differentiate the two, which is nice. So the figure stands about 6 1/4 inches tall. He's maybe a hair taller than Poe Dameron, and honestly, we didn't see this guy enough in the movie that I don't really know if this is accurate scale or not. But he looks like a character should be tall, so I would say he should probably be a little bit taller than Poe. And just for another comparison, here's the 4-inch Asty figure from Hasbro. Now this is a 5 points of articulated figure. but I just wanted to give you a comparison between the two. Also, while we have this 4-inch figure here, I had someone ask me if you could take the Poe Dameron Black Series 4-inch figure, the one that has more articulation, and if you could switch the Asty head. And the answer is you can pop it off. Yeah, these are basically the same bodies, but the ball on the Poe Dameron Black Series figure is a little bit smaller, so you can set the head on there, but it fits pretty loosely, so if you really started to move the figure around, the head's going to fall off. But if you wanted to just set the head on top there, or you could probably find some way to tighten, fill the hole a little bit if you really wanted to do that, and then you could get a more articulated Asty figure. Okay, so the figure's got pretty good articulation. The head is on a ball hinge joint. Now with the way the head is sculpted and shaped, he really can't look down. He can look left and he can look right, and he can actually look back pretty well, which is nice. But again, he can't really look down because of the big chin that comes forward. Arms are attached with your standard ball hinge joint, so he can get his arm all the way out, and he's got good rotation there at the arm. No bicep swivel, but does have the swivel at the elbow. Single hinged elbow, so he can bend his elbow about that much. He's got the swivels at the wrist, also has the hinges on the hands, so he's got good up and down movement with the hands. He's got a midsection swivel. Now, because you've got that hose attached to his chest that goes down to his leg, that does limit some of the rotation there, so you want to be careful not pull that hose out. No waist swivel, no ab crunch or anything. Legs are attached with ball joints, but again, the web gear does limit somewhat how much you can do, like the splits. He can get his leg forward good, and he can do his leg back about that much. He's got the thigh swivel. Again, a little bit limited because of the hose, at least on this one leg that attaches from the chest. You've got double jointed knees, so he's got good bending at the knees. And then he's got ankle pivot and the hinges on the feet. So he's got good up and down movement, and 2 peg holes on the bottom of it. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I like this figure. I like the detail of it. It's always nice to get a unique looking alien. Now, sadly, and here's a spoiler, so if you haven't seen the movie, you might want to turn the video off at this point. So I read somewhere that this character was supposed to be a nod to the Beastie Boys. I don't know if that's really true or not, but sadly, Asty here did not survive the Battle of Starkiller Base. So unfortunately, this is probably going to be the only version of this character that we see in figure form. The figure is hitting retail shelves now. It's part of the 4th wave of Black Series figures. This wave is literally just started to hit retail shelves, so you may give it a little while before you actually see it, but it is starting to get out there. We'll have a full gallery of images up at JediInsider.com. There's a link in the description below, and as always, leave a comment, let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and until next time, I'll catch you later.